What's going on? This is Joe with Gemini Sports Hub, back with another PSA reveal. Sent these in April 17th. Received them today. They completed grading May 17th. It just took a little while to process them. So about a month turnaround from them entering in the system and grades being ready for me. And so with that, we'll get right into it. I have seen these grades, full disclosure. I had wanted to do a blind reveal on them. However, with some of the cards in here, I felt that I probably ought to take a look. And I'm actually thankful that I did. Not super excited about how things graded out. And I've watched some other videos of people that maybe got a little bit more of a difficult grader. And I'm glad that I have tempered my initial reaction. However, I do have some absolutely stunning cards in here. And with that, we'll get right into it. I sent mostly cards that I have ripped on my channel. Also a couple of eBay pickups. But mostly cards that were ripped on my channel over the last year. Started out with 57 cards that I was considering submitting. Ended up dwindling it down to 33. I thought I went over them very meticulously. Some of them a little off-centered. One card in particular I sent on purpose just to see what it'd grade out, because it had some corner damage. However, yeah, let's just get right with it. I got to kind of sneak to take a look here. All right, we'll start right here. All right, we'll begin with a NFL debut green mosaic, CJ Stroud. We pulled a 9 on that. Not certain what the imperfection with this was. However, it's what they gave me. Next, we have a Luis Robert autograph, Aqua. It is numbered out of 150. Really thought this was a super clean card. In fact, I was certain it was a 10. However, it came back in Year Man 8. So I'm really curious as to what I missed. Yeah, this appeared to be a flawless card to me. I mean, corners are real nice and real nice and clean. No chromium bubbles on it. It just looked like a super clean card to me. So I really don't understand why that came back in 8. However, it's what it came back. All right, next we got a Josh Young Halloween jack-o'-lanterns. And on this particular card, it did have just a very little slight peel there on the foil there. And so I thought maybe it was a 9. I thought it was very well centered, though. I thought I had a shot at a 10. Nothing really on the back. It looked great on the back, but it came back a 9. So not off to the greatest start on these. Next, we have a Horbit Vivus. I believe I'm saying that right. Maybe I'm not. It is out of 23 Platinum. It is the orange auto. It's numbered out of 25. He was traded to the Yankees. Had a lot of hoopla about him in spring training. I know he's been sent back down, but yeah, I thought maybe this had a good chance of gemming, so I sent it, and it came back a 9. Next, we have the most disappointing card in the whole submission, so we will save him for last. This is a Jamar Chase tie-dye Select Futures Prism out of 22 Select. Again, no chromium bubbles, anything, very well centered. Looked to be an amazing card to me. Did not see any flaws with it. However, it came back a 9. Next, we have a Bryce Young. This is a Prism draft pick pregame. It's a horizontal card, so it's kind of hard to do this on. This is a case hit. The value on these isn't super high. With this particular card, I want to say there was just a little tiny something over here. I still thought I had a good chance to gem in, and I do believe that next season he is going to have a nice rebound year. Thought the centering was really good, but like I say, it's a case hit, so maybe they're a little tougher on those because this one also came back at 9. Next, we have another Prism draft. This one is a C.J. Stroud pregame. Now on this one, as well as Bryce Young, I bought both of these off of eBay. I had pulled 2 Caleb Williams pregames. Neither one of those were clean enough to send. Actually, I only had one in my possession when I made this submission because I'd given one away as a 100 subscriber giveaway. Boy, there's just something on all these cards, like they got them all dirty or something. It's weird. However, this card I was very happy with because it came back at gem at 10. So perfect time to have a case hit C.J. Stroud 10. Value on these is a little bit less than a lot of case hits. However, it's still a very nice card. Next, we have another horizontal card out of Prism Draft. This is a Will Levis Prism Break. This is a gold numbered out of 10. I don't know if you can see that or not. And it came back at 10. So super stoked about that. You know, being a gold, that's one I don't know whether I'll sell or hold on to. All right, next we have another Prism Draft picks. This is going to be the Variation Prism, C.J. Stroud. Super clean card, I thought. Sending it in. In fact, couldn't find anything wrong with it. And PSA agreed. Got a 10 on it. So, really liking getting a couple CJs in a 10. Next, we have Bijan Robinson Passport Signatures. This one's a little bit off, actually quite a bit off left to right. Didn't catch that when I sent it in. I should have been paying closer attention on that. On-card auto, though, super nice looking card. Nice sharp corners. I don't know what else is wrong with it because it gave me an 8, which was kind of disappointing. So, you know, it kind of got a trend going here. I got an 8 on the Bijan on-card and an 8 on the Luis Robert on-card auto. And I don't know what that's all about. Next, I have a Rookie Portraits Prestige 2023 Anthony Richardson. This is a case hit. I thought maybe there was a little whiting up here. I was fully expecting a 9 on this card. However, they gave me a 10. So I'll definitely take that. I know these are a hard grade just because they're the canvas. And so I'm assuming that they have a slight amount of leniency on these. I would say with this grader overall, I don't believe he or she gave me much of any leniency, however. Next, we got a Silver Mosaic, Bryce Young Mosaic. These cards are really hard to tell, you know, with the prismatic pattern on them. Looked to be well-centered. Couldn't really find anything wrong with it. Sent it in, and it got a 10. Next, we have an Anthony Richardson, the green debut. Much like the Stroud, it looked to be relatively well-centered. I did not see much wrong with it. Nice sharp corners. It was clean on the surface. There's a couple things. It looks like PSA needs to do some work on their QC because there's like card boogers all over this, and those were not there. However, they gave me a 9. All right, next I have an Oscar Thompson Silver Prism out of 23 Prism. Again, super clean card. Couldn't really find much wrong with it. Seemed to be well-centered. And PSA agreed. I got a 10 on that. I know he had blood clots and stuff, and there's some speculation as to his future. However, if Allman Thompson's any indicator, let's get Oscar back on the court because I think both of them are absolute studs. All right, next I have a C.J. Stroud Fireworks Green Wave Prism. Might have been a little heavy on the bottom compared to the top. Did not really find much else wrong with this. Really thought it was a nice card. Thought I had a good chance of jimming up. However, it got a 9. Next, we have a City Sissoko, the red seismic prism out of 23 prism. These are numbered the 249. I know he's developmental league. I thought this card looked really good. A little bit off left to right, a little bit heavier on the bottom. However, with it being a numbered prism, and I think the Spurs might know something that the rest of us don't know yet, because he's from France, Wemby's from France. Wemby went number 1. He was their second round pick. They're both 19, 20-year-old guys. And in the D League, he kind of looks like a stud. So we'll see in the future on him, but I decided to go ahead and get this graded out just in case he ends up being the next Manu Ginobili or Tony Parker to David Robinson and Tim Duncan. So we did get a 9 on that. Next, I have a Jaime Jaquez Jr. Silver Prism out of 23 Prism. I thought this looked like a really clean card. Yeah, we've got another. There's all kinds of inclusions in these cards. It's very upsetting to look at. In fact, I think I'm gonna have to contact PSA about this, because I should not be seeing this on almost every card that we are revealing. Anyway, with the Jaquez, a little bit off top to bottom, looked to be spot on left to right. I thought I had a real good chance of jimming this up. However, I got a 9. And now I get a nice little white. I don't know if you can see that or not. Something or another that was not in there. Not meaning to be disappointed by it. Overall, I'm very happy with the submission, even though I'm certain that a lot of these cards could have been cracked and sent to another grader, and they might have graded up. Next, I have a Dan Marino Downtown. I actually didn't pull this. My brother pulled it around Christmas, and then we did some trading. Huge Dan Marino fan. Fully expected not to get a 10 on this. It's way heavier on the bottom than it is on the top. However, I couldn't find anything else wrong with it, and I thought, I've had them gem up where top to bottom isn't perfect, and I thought maybe I had a chance. And so I sent it, and I got a 9. But this is the one card out of the submission that I will not be even considering selling. This is a PC for sure. Next, we have Stephon Diggs Honeycomb. It's a case hit out of Mosaic. Real clean card. All these honeycombs I sent, I could not find anything wrong with any of them. I used a 30 loop on them. They look to be absolutely perfect to me. Outside of one of them, and I'll explain that here in a minute. But in saying that, I looked at some other PSA 10 versions, and it seemed to be just the way they are. But anyway, with this one in particular, we're able to gem up. Super nice card. Him going to the Texans and being in the Bills unit, maybe that hurts the value a little bit, but super happy to have that card. Next, we got another NFL debut, CJ Stroud. And like I say, these Prism cards are hard. Or not Prism, Mosaic cards, the prismatic pattern on them. It's hard to judge, but I could not find anything wrong with this. No chromium bubbles. The corner's real sharp. Seemed to be a really nice card. Maybe a touch bigger down here than up here, but not much. So I thought I had a good shot at Jimin. I got a 9. Next, I have a Bryce Young green Mosaic with a crack in it. Are you kidding me, PSA? Look at that. Are you kidding me? You pay $700, you get a bunch of inclusions in your cards, and then they come back cracked? This is absolutely ridiculous. This is a Gem Mint 10 card. I am so very disappointed in this PSA submission. Anyway, after that little spasm, next I have a Chris Carter Honeycomb. Seemed to be a perfect card. However, with a couple of these honeycombs, I didn't do quite as good as what I thought I would, but on this one, I got a 10. So, super stoked to have that. Hall of Famer. Yeah, just a great player. I'm beside myself about this Bryce Young. I just keep looking at it. I don't understand how that even gets through. I don't understand how through QC any of these get through with all these print defects or the inclusions on them. This is just wild, and insane to me. Next, I have a Peyton Manning. This is also honeycomb prism. Same deal. Could not find a single thing wrong with this. Looks to be centered about perfect. No chromium bubbles. No nothing. It looked perfect. But they gave me a 9. At least they didn't give me some card boogers with it this time. All right, next I have a Brenton Strange. This is the one I was talking about. So if you look at these white lines in the background, one of these octagons is slightly shifted from the other, but I saw several PSA 10 versions that had this same deal with it before I sent it. And so I thought I had a real good chance of gemming up. I know he didn't get much playing time last year. Second round pick for the Jags, rookie honeycomb. I really thought this was a 10. They gave me a 9. Next we have a Jamar Chase. This is a stained glass. This is a case hit out of Mosaic. Again, really clean card. Could not find anything wrong with it. So I decided to submit it, and I got a 10. So that's a really nice card right there. Really, really nice card. A lot of these cards are really nice cards. Next we have a Jahmyr Gibbs stained glass, or a kaleidoscopic. I apologize. This is another case hit out of Mosaic. These are phenomenal looking cards. I know the stained glass and Genesis and stuff are worth quite a bit more than the kaleidoscopic, but these are beautiful cards. I don't understand why they don't have more value, but still pretty decent value card in a 10, and that's what we got. So super stoked about that. Kind of seems like they're cleaning up towards further into them. We don't have quite as many inclusions. There's one right there, though, as I say that. Yeah, the first couple slabs that I picked, it looked like somebody was eating lunch while they're putting them in there. There's a bunch of fingerprints on them, and then as we go through these, we're getting all kinds of inclusions in them, and then we have a Bryce Young that's just completely destroyed. Probably destroyed the card too. Yeah, this is kind of an upsetting opening. Next, we have a T-Law Pink Fluorescent. Again, this card looked flawless. In fact, out of every card that I sent, I thought this was the very best one. I know it's a Pink Fluorescent, real low numbered out of 10. However, I truly believe this to be every bit of 10. No whiting on the corners to speak of. It's perfectly centered front and back. No print defects, no nothing. And they gave me a 9. I can live with the 9. In fact, I'd completely come to terms with it until I just saw that Bryce Young and I saw all the inclusions on these. So next we got a Puka. This is the Blue Scope preview, optic preview. Again, I thought this was really well centered. Could not find much wrong with it. I know they got a lot going on with them, but maybe off top to bottom. I don't think so though. It was a newer product, but yeah, I thought it looked really good. On the back, there's no whiting on the corners, anything like that. It seems to be very well centered on the back, and they give me a 9 again. Cannot explain it. All right, next we have another disappointment, another nice card that I'd sure like to know what they found on it. This card looked absolutely flawless to me. Maybe a touch taller, a touch more on the top than the bottom, but I've sent a lot of Prism to them. I believe this represents 250 cards I've sent in the PSA now, and I've sent a lot of Prism with that exact same off-centering, I guess, and they gemmed up, but not on my Stroud. Got a 9 on it. All right, next we have a Willie Mays. This was the first card of the submission. Again, kind of like that Luis Robert. I did not see anything wrong with it. But, as we're looking, we can see where we got a little lunch on it because we want to put fingerprints all over them. And it kind of looks like they bent the corner when they sealed it. Yeah, they bent the corner when they sealed it. That's great. I now have a notch or a bend right here in this card, right where it's sealed. I don't know if you can see that, but it's absolutely there, very plain as day. That was not there when I sent the card. Again, perfectly centered card, no chromium bubbles, no real whiting on the back, even up on the red. There's like nothing wrong with it. And they gave me a 9. All right, next we got another CJ Stroud Prism. Kind of the same deal, maybe a little bit heavy on the top, but left to right, it seemed to be within that 45, 55. Now on this one in particular, there was a little bit going on right here and almost like a low spot right there. So I sent it more because it's a color match and it's CJ Stroud. I thought maybe I'd get a 9 on it. And of course I did, just like so many others. Next we have a Jahmyr Gibbs. This card, you can look at it and you can see from, so I better get better light on that. You can see from left to right. It is a touch off left to right. However, I looked at several other versions of this card. Same deal as like the Strouds and so many in here. There was nothing wrong with this card. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Back centering was really good. Maybe a touch off, but like I say, I looked at other PSA 10 examples. No true whiting on the corners. And they gave me a 9. I mean, that's still a $200, $250 card, so I got to be happy with it. But at the same time, I feel like I'm really let down by PSA on this reveal based on the grades, and now seeing all these inclusions, the fingerprints, broken slabs. Like, you got to do better, PSA. Flat out, you got to do better. If you're going to charge people the money you're charging, you have to do better than this. All right, so this is the biggest disappointment of the entire review. And the reason being is I noticed on the photographs coming back that I've got a bunch of whiting up here on this corner that wasn't prevalent when I sent the card. Did have a touch down here on this corner. Fully anticipated this probably getting a 9. However, this whiting right here was not there. It is now, though. And kind of like the other cards, yeah, kind of looks like that corner has been as well. Maybe I'm just seeing the wave of the plastic. I'm gonna have to look over these a little better. This is a 24 Topps Heritage Red Ink Auto, Bobby Witt, numbered out of 75. I thought it was going to be a 9. They gave me an 8. And so there are a couple interesting things about my order that are somewhat problematic for me that I wasn't even going to discuss. I kind of, like I say, I kind of come to terms, but now after seeing how horrible the quality control was on this and how they kind of destroyed a couple of my cards, I got to say it. Number one, I pulled 3 8s. All 3 of them happen to be on-card autographs. Now, I sent 4 autos altogether, and one of them got a 9, but it was a sticker. This card in particular, I really wish they'd give us some kind of explanation on this, because this card is absolutely beautiful. And the Bijan ain't bad either. Now, my Bobby Witt, it was pretty nice when I sent it. It's not so nice anymore. Not only that, I sent 33 cards. I got 11 10s. Exactly 33.3% 10s. Counting this one, that's now virtually worthless because they destroyed my card. Yeah, I'm really kind of ragging on them, and I don't like to be in this frame of mind. However, you know, I do expect better. To pay the money that I paid to have these graded. I should not be dealing with inclusions in my cards. Should not be dealing with that at all. There's one right there. And I'm going back through these 10s because I sent one card that I knew was not a nice card. However, it's really low numbered. And I sent it just to see. I fully anticipated the possibility of getting a 6 on this particular card. However, somehow, it got a 10. And I'll explain that right now. I don't know if we're going to be able to give it justice. However, this corner, it's flaked completely up. I mean, like horribly flaked up. That when I pulled the card, I was like, are you kidding me? You can go back and watch the video. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then I looked at other versions of it, and yeah, that's not there on the card. But somehow this gems up, but cards I can't find anything wrong with are getting 8s. It's wild to me. It's just wild how much of a gamble it is. You know, you really are playing the lottery and just hoping on hitting the right numbers. But overall, like I say, I can't be disappointed. Am I disappointed that there's a bunch of snuff on my card right here, like lunch or something like that? Absolutely. Absolutely. That there is no excuse for that. That card that was not on the card when it was sent, and now I got to deal with it. It's just wild. And that's not the only one. You know, we look at this Richardson. It's relatively good, but a couple of these others, they got a bunch of snuff in them. I don't even know what to call it. It's just a bunch of crap in there. Yeah, so definitely going to be calling PSA. That's all cracked up right there too. Or maybe it's not. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. But yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it. I'd hope to give you guys a great reveal. I'm just glad I didn't do a blind reveal. I probably would have completely lost it instead of just being upset. Anyway, if you give me a like and subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. Until my next video. Actually, every card on this, besides the broken one and the Dan Marino Downtown, they're going on my eBay store, Gemini Sports Hub. You guys should check it out. Might be talking to PSA a little further about these on-card autos and what was going on here, as well as some of the stuff on them. But anyway, if you can give me a like and subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. Until my next video. Peace.